Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Home Built Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live, where, as you know, we're going to hang out for an hour or so and talk about shop projects and talk about what you're working on and talk about how things are going and all that good stuff. Welcome to the show. I hope your day is going great. Get situated here. As we get tuned in and settled in, what is going on? How are you all doing this fine Wednesday? Hope you're all doing amazing and off to a great day. As always, this live stream's powered by good old cup of coffee. Hope you guys grab a beverage of choice and settle in. Let's hang out for a little while and talk about shop projects and talk about guitars and talk about stuff and all that we always do. Always a good time. I always look forward to these lives. I love hanging out with you guys. And yeah, this is the highlight of my day. So what's on the workbench? What's on your workbenches today? What do you guys got in the works? Harry Dude's here. What's up? Harry Dude says, I made it. How are you? I am good. Doing good, man. Glad you made it in. And yeah, hope you're doing awesome. What's on your workbench today? What are you working on? Or have you wrapped up for the day? How are things going down under? We got Paul here. Paul, what's going on? Paul says greetings. And greetings to you as well. So what I'm working on, if you guys have been following along with any of the posts on the old Instagram or Facebook or any of that, I'm working on a cigar box guitar. Kind of put the acoustic guitar on hold for a little while, mainly because I was waiting for some things to be delivered, and decided to knock out this cigar box. As soon as we get it done, it'll be back on the acoustic. I'll show you a little bit of that in a minute here. Invader Zim! Invader Zim says hello! What's going on? Hotel Jess, howdy! Howdy! How are you? Welcome. Paul says a wet ride into work. Yeah, it's well, I don't know, it's cold here again today. We had a little bit of snow flurries this morning, but we're in that time of year. Harry Dude says, finished up for the day. Just finished putting together wiring a mixer rack. Painful. Ooh, that sounds painful. Sounds painful. Whole bunch of patch cables. Hopefully you have like a patch bay or something to make it easier. Harry Dude says, Doom. Paul says, have a couple of special orders on the bench. Just started on GGBO guitar. Yes, the old GGBO. That may or may not be what I'm working on here. Well, let's just jump into that. So, let's see if I can grab everything here. I tried to set it out where I could reach it, but... So, my 6-string cigar box guitar may or may not be for the Great Guitar Build-Off. Most likely it will, unless I really screw something up. So, cigar box. Insert thingy. Ugh, let's see, this is awkward. So that the button in the box closes, and then we bolt on a neck. I got the neck almost done. Still have to shape it and everything, but yeah. And then we got a pickup in here somewhere. Can't really see it. Gold hardware, all the works, and like I said, as long as it turns out good, this will probably be for the Great Guitar Build-Off. Never done a bolt-on neck cigar box guitar. Kind of different. I don't even know if I've ever seen one. I'm sure someone's built one, but that's the plan. So it's basically electric guitar, but just everything's housed inside the cigar box. So this block is going to act kind of like the solid body, just without, you know, the extra wings and all that. So that's the deal. That's where we're at on this. I'm hoping today, when we're done here, to get the neck bolted into place. I got just a little bit of adjustment to do here to make sure everything sits nice and square, and then get the bridge located. It's going to go almost right up to this lip here, and figure out where I'm going to put the pickup. Oh, hey, let me ask you guys that. Set this stuff down. So the bridge is going to go right about here, and your normal bridge pickup location would be somewhere right about here. I thought about moving it up here and doing it sort of as a neck location, just to kind of keep this a little more open. I don't know if it really matters. There's, you know, this isn't, I don't know. It's just kind of cool. What do you guys think? Should I put it right here and route some of this detail away? Or should I put it up here to keep a little more of this open? The pickup is a bridge pickup, but I was thinking maybe up here. I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Should I worry about this? Part of me's not too concerned because, I don't know, it's not like a name or anything, but it is kind of a cool little graphic there. But what do you think? Of course, this special edition would remain unchanged. If I just put the pickup right here, no, maybe I should put it right in the middle. I don't know. What do you think? Whoa, the lights just flickered. Do you see that? That's weird. Why? Why are the lights flickering? Hang on. What's going on here? I think my light just like burnt out. Huh. Well, sorry about that. That was interesting. I have LED lights that you can, you chain them together. And this one is in the middle of the chain. And it just went out. Huh. That was interesting. All right, let's see here. Let me get caught back up here on the comments. Ben says hello. Appreciate your time. Tired of the wind. Yeah, I'm with you. It's man. You are. Yeah, you're in Loveland. Yes, man. I'm just outside of Colorado Springs, and the wind the last few days has been absolutely ridiculous. Today's not so bad, but it is cold. But yeah, the wind is horrible. And we've had a couple fires around here, like grass fires, and like unfortunately one of them burned down a family's house. It's bad already, and we're not even getting warm yet, so I'm a little concerned for summertime. Hopefully your wind up there is not too bad today. Harry Dude says, whole heap of cabling, mixer, effects, speaker controller, guitar effects, wireless, patch panel, and power distribution. Ooh, sounds like you're basically wiring a whole PA. Paul says, I have a few really nice cigar boxes if you're interested in them. Haven't built a cigar box guitar in a few years. Yeah, I might be interested, Paul. You see that? The light's flickering now. Yeah, I have one more small one that I was thinking about making a cigar box amp out of. But yeah, I'm always kind of got an eye out for some cool boxes. I mean, I don't build a ton of them, but I maybe one or two a year kind of thing. But yeah, shoot me a message or something. Attell just nice inlay on headstock. Hey, thanks. So this is still got a little sanding to do. We got a little bit of burnage there. It's actually not an inlay. It's a brand. So I you know, I cut this recess. It's kind of my Haley Guitars thing. And then I brand in the name there. And I've been liking this a lot until I find something that I like better, which I don't know if I will. I like just burning it in there. Ben says the wind in Loveland looks nicer today. I've not stepped outside yet. Absolutely love the work you did on the red telly. Oh, thank you, thank you. The red and black quilted maple one. That one, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one as well. Thank you, I appreciate that. Invader Zim, that's going to look amazing when it's done. Can't wait to see it. I'm kind of excited about it. Harry Dude says, cut the detail carefully and attach to the top of the pickup. Ooh. That's a good idea. That would be really cool. I don't know how I would get that out of there. It's probably a foil stamp. You could pick that up of there. Ooh, that would be cool. You only have one shot of trying it though. That's the only problem. That would be really awesome. Ponder that one. Tell Jess, you should think what sort of music you will play with this. I'm basically making it as a... I don't know. I know what I would play with it, but I think it's just going to be kind of an all-around, really. I know the pickup that I'm using is a PAF style humbucker. This is the it's probably backwards. The Seth Lover humbucker. Apparently he had something to do with, you know, creating the PAF humbucker. So it's not as high of output. I'm thinking it's going to be you know, just an all-around playable guitar, really. Not super hot humbuckers, but not, you know, not a single coil either. I'm pretty excited to try this out. I've never tried this, and look, it's in gold. I don't typically use gold hardware, but I thought with this one, being as it has the gold foil stamp stuff on there, I think it'd look pretty cool with all gold hardware. Of course, we got gold tuners, gold bridge, gold pickup. I even have gold pickup rings if I need to use a pickup ring for some reason, and gold strap buttons, everything. John says, put it at the neck to keep the gold inlay. It's kind of where I'm leaning. Paul says, protect the label as much as you can. I try to do that when I build whiskey barrel guitars. Yeah, and on the more we talk about it, that's kind of the way I'm leaning. You know, the bridge will be right here. It's going to cover up just a little bit there. I can fit the pickup right about here. It would just cover the end and then keep most of this intact. I think that's the way I'm going to go. Just like, you know, to keep that foil detail. Ben says, what do you use for a good finish? I had to take a break from nitro. It was making me sick. Live and learn. Proper PPE is a must. I do like the graphics. I do a heavy metal cigar box guitar. That was kind of what I was thinking. I just didn't go with as hot of a pickup. I want this build. I want you to be able to pick this thing up, whoever plays it, and be able to play whatever they would normally play, you know, on their electric. But it's a cigar box, right? So it's going to have, you know, just the one humbucker. I've got a push-pull pot. I'm going to do a coil split, so you can get some single coil tones out of it, single coil-ish tones. But yeah, I wanted to go with a pickup that could do, you know, distortion and that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's kind of my idea. Whatever you're going to play on your electric guitar, your regular electric, I want this thing to be able to do the same stuff. Telja says, if you're in a cold workshop, do you have issues with wood movement when bringing them inside? For the most... Oh, sorry, I kicked you guys. Sorry about that. For the most part, no. But I think mainly the main reason for that is due to our low humidity. And I could be way off on this, but this is just my theory. Our humidity here is so low. We're rarely above the teens as far as humidity percentage. So I don't see a whole lot of movement. Of course, we still get the seasonal changes, right? Like everybody else, but ours is just a lot less. I haven't noticed anything specific from working out here and then bringing something inside, outside of the normal normal wood movement. I haven't noticed any extremes, let's put it that way. Spike's here! Spike says, hey Jeff, what's up, Spike? What's going on? Your one piece is looking mighty good. Henry says, morning. Working on some spool clamps today, thanks to your video. Right on. Yeah, I'm going to be having to make some more of those as well before long, like a big batch of them. So make more. I mean, unless you're already planning to make like 20 or 30 of them, I would say make more than what you feel you're going to need. I made, I think, 6 of them. 6 or 8 in that video. I think it was 6. And yeah, definitely, I like the bigger ones better. And I should have made a ton more. But I'll be doing that before, I don't know, in the upcoming weeks, months, as I get back into the acoustic. Henry says, where'd you get the branding iron? I got that from Budget Branding Irons. Branding Irons or Budget Branding Iron? I think their website's budgetbrandings.com, maybe? Can't remember that. But Budget Branding Iron is the company I got it from. So far, I've been very happy with it. I got the electric one mainly because I didn't want to have to heat it with a torch. To me, it seems a little bit more consistent in the heating. The torch heated ones work perfectly fine, but you have to do it manually. And that's why I opted to get the electric one. That way, I just turn it on, let it heat up. Always, if you've not done it, always do a test before you brand your piece. That would be my recommendation. Before I branded the guitar, I just grab a scrap of the same wood if I can, and try to see how, you want to see how long you need to hold it on there. Or maybe if it's even too hot, if you touch it on there and smoke starts pouring off right away, it might be a little too hot, and let it cool off for a minute or so. And I always count. When I put it on there, I'm counting how many seconds, and then if I pulled off and it's burnt too much, then I can do a second or so less, and that would be my tip that you didn't ask for. Tel just says, what sort of music you'd play? That's depending on the location of the pickup. Bridge pickup sounds very different from neck pickup. Agreed. I agree 100%. This, like I said, this pickup is a bridge. It's made for the bridge location. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. I do agree that it will. If I shift it forward, it will change the sound a little bit, but overall, I just don't think. I don't know. I feel like it's not going to be that big of a deal. I could be way wrong on that too. Paul says, how much would you lose if you put the entire pickup under the lid? Would you be able to get sufficient sound? I don't know. I'd have to take the cover off, probably. I got it with the gold cover. It would be kind of cool. Recess the whole thing. And then basically this would be the cover. I think it would be possible. Interesting. That's an interesting thought. Paul says maybe shave a small bit off the back of the lid to help with the sound. Yeah, I have to experiment with that. I don't know. Harry Dude says, I installed a Seth Lover in a customer's guitar. I thought it was great in the bridge position. Didn't think it was too ice picky clean at the bridge. That's good to know. Yeah, I've never used this one. I've used lots of different Duncan pickups, but never this Seth Lover style. Ben says, sounds like fun, man. Awesome. I'm excited. Brian says, hi, Jeff and everyone. I wanted to jump on and say hi. My mother-in-law's here now, so I have to go pick up doner kebab for dinner. Take care. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Doner kebab. What is that? Can you refresh my memory? I'm glad you got to stop in. Tell the family hi. Tell the family this weird guy on the internet said hi. Henry says, if you ever want to wind pickups, I just got a Mojo Tone winder here in the Springs. I get my old homemade one to Mike at Moondog. Oh, okay. Oh, you're in the Springs. How did I miss that? Yeah, that is something I would like to try. I know a couple people that do wind pickups, and it's something that I would like to try. I want to try 3D printing, like the flat work for that, and just to see what the deal is. I need to get down to Moondog and check it out. I've had several buddies tell me about the place, and I haven't been down there yet. Darkside says, think I just watched a video from you on how to clean my air filter and oil it and reinstall. Thanks for the help, sir. Right on. Yep, I have a couple of them up there on cleaning those filters, and I'm glad you got it done. Glad it helped you out. Spike says, Jeff, I wonder if I could install the truss rod from the back to keep my fretboard intact. Absolutely, you could. I think I was reading. Where did I see that? Was it on Instagram? I can't remember. Where you were talking about that, and Fender did that with the skunk stripe stuff. There's no reason you couldn't. I think at all. I think you said after you take a lot of measuring and stuff like that, and I agree that it would probably be a little bit tricky, but there's no reason you couldn't do it. You measure your thickness and minus your fretboard, and that's going to be the depth of your slot. And put everything in from the back. Cutting the skunk stripe to glue in there. I've never done that with the skunk stripe. I always put my truss rods under the fretboard, but my first impression is maybe getting the stripe to fit correctly would also take some careful cutting and stuff like that, but absolutely no reason why you couldn't do that, I don't think. If I remember though, Spike, weren't you going to use 2 truss rods as well as a carbon fiber rod? So you'd have to basically do 3 if you stick with that. So 3 separate skunk stripes. But you could do it. Robert's here. Robert says, hi, everyone. Spike says, hey, Robert. I say, hey, Robert. Good morning. Robert says, Dave Dickens did a guitar last year where he put the pickup under the top. Interesting. Brian says, Donner is like a hero. Okay. That sounds good. I haven't had one of those in a long time. Brian says, I will say hi for you. Take care. You as well, man. Oh, yeah. Henry says, I'm the guy from Pike Street Makerspace. That's right. That's right. Robert says, hi, Spike. Spike says, if I go in the back, I'll just use a truss rod and wing it. Okay, just one truss rod. Yeah, I would think you'd be okay. Really. I say go for it, Spike. You can do it. Says it's going to be a novelty. Yeah, it's going to work. You can do it. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on. This old build here. And like I said, today, as soon as we're done here, hanging out, drinking coffee, I'm gonna get the neck bolted on, locate the bridge, probably route a pickup hole. Maybe experiment with wood. I don't know. My goal, excuse me. I want to get this done. I'm trying to not let this drag out too long because I do want to get back to the acoustic guitar. I'm at the step on that where I need to make the rosette, and I was waiting for the rosette circle cutter thing to arrive, and I got all that in, and I've been testing making some rosettes. I think I showed those on the live. Well, maybe it was last week. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to that and make some more headway. Plus, I got some other projects. Oh, do you guys remember when we talked about building like a birdhouse for the month of April? Do you guys remember that? Raise your hand. Raise your hand who remembers it. Let's see. Henry says, got to get back to work. Have a good day, guys. You too, man. Thanks for stopping by. Spike says, you don't use a hole saw? Dang. A hole saw for cutting the rosettes? No, I don't think I'm going to. If that's what you're talking about, I'll show you what I have. It's all dusty already. I haven't even used it. I have the little router base for the Dremel. It's got a pinhole, and you can adjust everything, and you cut it with the Dremel. I was going to make something out of a router, and I still may in the future, but for now I think this is what I want to use. I've got several friends that use this and have excellent results, so that's what I decided to try out. Robert says, weren't the fender truss rods that were installed from the back under some kind of tension with a shallow arch of some type made into the cavity cut for the truss rod? I've seen people make them like that. I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. I don't think you would need to, honestly. Again, not having installed one that way, as long as you have your board nice and straight, you route a nice straight channel, it's going to work just the same. If you're using a two-way truss rod, I think. You might have to do something wonky with that if you used a one-way truss rod. But I always use a two-way on all of my builds, just because I have one guitar specifically that has a one-way truss rod, and I can't get the adjustment exactly where it needs to be. So I try to stick with a two-way truss rod because I like to be able to adjust whichever way I need to. So I think if you use a two-way truss rod, as long as you get that channel nice and straight and flat, I think it's going to work just fine. Robert says, nice tool. Seems like it's going to work out well. Like I said, I have several friends that use that same tool, so if it works for them, I'm guessing it's going to work for me. I hope. Time will tell. Spike says, my humor slides right by sometimes. Oh, sorry, Spike. Sometimes I'm not too quick on the pickup there. Spike says they have the big round anchor on the heel. Okay. Have a dual from Bitterroot. Okay, I've used the Bitterroot ones before, and yeah, it should work just fine. Now I order all mine as long as I can get them. I order from All Parts. If you guys didn't know, if you ever need anything from All Parts, I'm an All Parts dealer, whatever that means. I do have that set up with them, so I can order All Parts stuff. So every time I order from them, I try to order a couple truss rods and some carbon fiber rods, and you know, I don't order like hundreds of things at a time, but yeah, I try to keep some stuff on hand. You know, that way, you know, you save on shipping. But Paul says some did have an arched channel for the truss rod, but I think most now don't have that. Yeah, I kind of feel the same. Seems though I remember reading something or seeing something about that, and I've seen people cut an arched channel on like a table saw jig, but I don't know. I just haven't had to do that. I just use a two-way truss rod, and I've been able to do everything that I need to do. There may be applications where you would need to do that, cut it somehow on some sort of a radius with an arch, but I can't think offhand what that exact application would be where you would have to do that. But I know it's out there. Robert says, I have a couple of Dremel router bases like that too, but without the extension for the hole cutting option. Yeah, this thing is pretty cool from what I can tell. You know, you have to buy, it's two different things you have to buy. You know, so you buy the router base, and then you have to buy the circle cutting deal. And but this is a plunge base, which I thought was kind of neat. Look, it even has a little light. So this one, you can, it's got there's like two different depth stops on here. You can set, you know, this with the plunge, but this one you basically zero out, and then you can, how does this work? I'm not an expert on this yet. I've only messed around with it. Then this has like a fine adjustment, and then I don't know if you can see, there's a little pin. I don't know how to work it. There's a little tiny pin in there that you can use. See if I can get it to where you can see through there. Nope. There you go. See that little pin in there? So you can set your depth and then bring that pin down. Just take tiny cuts at a time. And then when you plunge it down each time, it's going to go a little bit farther and a little bit farther. Hopefully it works okay. We'll find out. No, I think it's going to be just fine. If I don't smash it trying to put it away. Spike says, Paul, lots to learn before I cut it. Yeah, just measure 8,000 times and cut once. I mean that's what I do. I don't even measure, well, it depends on what I'm doing. I will measure 8,000 times today when I go to bolt the neck and the bridge on this little thing. That's for sure. Paul says most curved channels were used by single action truss rods, and that you have confirmed exactly what I was thinking. That, you know, it's a single action. You can only correct it one way, so you build in the other direction into the neck. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So you're going to build the forward bow in, I'm thinking, and then your two-way will adjust that out, or your single action will adjust it out. Robert says, looks like it should work very well. Spike says, yes, Paul, original fender designs were curved, I believe, too, filling the gap with the same sycamore. Spike needs a 30-inch drill bit. Somebody's got to make one. I've got a 24-inch that I use for drilling you know, the hole that goes from the neck pocket down through the pickup cavities. And that works really well. I'm sure you can find one. Robert says, Paul, okay, I'm surely no expert. That light's blinking. What's going on with it? That's going to make me crazy. I can't have that. I'm going to have to... Looks like I'm going to have to fix a light before I start bolting on guitar parts. Yeah. Let me think, Spike. 30-inch drill bit. I'm wondering if you could go on to a place like McMaster Car. I wonder if they'd have one. 30-inch drill bit. Let's see. Let's just have a look-see here and see what we can find. Let's see. That's going to be probably really slow, but I'm going to try to do this here on live TV. 30-inch drill bit, just for fun. Number 30? Not a number 30. Yeah, this thing's not going fast enough. I would look on McMaster, see if they have anything. Maybe Granger, some of the industrial supply houses might have some stuff. John's here. John says, good morning, guys. What's going on, John? Good morning to you. Robert says, after all I've built so far is an LP-style kit guitar. Hey, don't cut yourself short, man. That's an accomplishment right there. So, well done. Itchy old fart. I like it. Greetings from Utah. Love your channel. Right on. Thank you and welcome. John says, braze a rod onto a short bit. That thought was in my mind. I do have a couple that I've taken like a small 1/8 inch or maybe 16th, I don't know, some small drill bits and I've brazed not brazed, what did I do? Maybe epoxy or something, but yeah, brazing will be better. Get some tube and braze it on there. That's a good idea. The only thing is if the bit, now if you brazed it well, it should be fine. I was going to say, let's say I'm just going to pick a number. Let's say you're drilling a 1/4 inch hole and what I did was a tube that slipped over the end, but I wasn't trying to make it longer so I could drill deeper. I just needed it longer so I could reach a certain application. You'd have to make, as long as your tube is the same size or smaller than the diameter of the bit, I think you'd be just fine. You just braze that sucker on there, and there you go. Voila! You can make it 4 feet long if you want it. John said, had to do a gun stock one time. Oh, and you had to drill. Gotcha. Spike says, the epic move would be truss rod drilled in 30 inches on the shopsmith. This is not a great idea, Paul. Yeah, I would. That's a great option, actually, Spike. You, see what you can find for that. What size drill bit are you using that you need to have really long? And what exactly do you need to drill? That's 30 inches. The more I think about that. What are you drilling? Clue us in. We'll see if maybe we can come up with an alternative solution. I'm scrolling back up through here. Because I mentioned a while back the birdhouse builds. You guys remember talking about that? And then I got sidetracked. But if you don't, this is the month. Let's build a birdhouse, a simple birdhouse. And then we'll post pictures or a video or whatever at the end of the month. What do you guys think? Who's in? Who's with me? Sorry, I get distracted quickly. I'm going to build one anyway this week. Not this week. This month, and I'm going to plan to put it out at the end of the month. Build a birdhouse. Build a bird feeder. Let's do it. Do it together. Let's all do it together. Because it's springtime, right? There's birds out, and they need birdhouses and bird feeders and all that stuff. And it's a good opportunity to get your family, get your kids involved, and just spend a little bit of time putting something together. I don't care if it's a kit. You can buy, I think, at the hardware store or something like that. Put something together. Let's do it. End of the month, the last Saturday of the month. Maybe that's the last day of the month. I can't remember. Let's post up pictures and post up videos if you have them, and let's make a thing of it. Little side note there. Birdhouses. Let's build them. Plan. I got to get some. I think we're going to do a kit here, and I got to get that ordered. And John says, "Do it." Bam. Let's see. Spike says, I could install the truss rod. Oh, without cutting it open. Oh, I got you. So you're trying to avoid the skunk stripe. Is that what I'm understanding? It's gonna... Yeah, how would you hold it in place? I'm thinking about that. Hang on. So if you drilled it in from the headstock end, I'm pondering it. Sorry for the dead air, but I'm thinking of that. At least I'm thinking of my truss rods. Shove that sucker all the way down. You'd almost have to make a dowel cap for the end, I'm thinking. So you're going to have to drill a bigger hole. So you're going to have to drill a 1/4-inch hole, at least. It's not going to fit on the sides. It's going to be round, but your truss rod is going to be... No, it's going to be bigger than 1/4-inch. Drill it down there. And then at the end, you make a little dowel plug with a hole through the center that slides over the nut. Huh. Sorry, I was just thinking out loud there. John says, impossible to drill that deep into maple? I mean, you could. It would work. I'd be a little bit concerned with drift. That a bit that long, is not going to have a whole lot of stability. You could do it. Drill nice and slow and steady. I'd be afraid of it drifting too far. I'm not saying it would, but my thought is if it drifted too far, when you go to shape the neck, it's either going to blow out through the fretboard, or it could drift the other way, so you carve into it when you're shaping the neck. I'm not saying it's going to. That's just a thought that comes to mind. Paul says, I built a birdhouse about 2 weeks ago. My wife grabbed it to decorate a room with, so homeless birds in my yard. See, Paul, you need to build another one. Poor homeless birds. They're going to have the homeless camp under the bridge. Spike says, if possible, it would be cool with really one piece of wood. Now you know why I'm crazy. What if What if you decided, just an idea, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not telling you which way to go with your build. What if you considered going with the rear routed with the skunk stripe, but fill it with the same piece of the wood? Don't use a contrasting wood. Just fill it with the same stuff. Sycamore, I think you're using. John says, "LOL, Paul." Robert says, "I've seen some people use a plug with a hole in it that's installed at the adjustment end." Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you're gonna attempt drilling it, you're gonna have to drill it bigger than the truss rod. So in theory, it could just shoot right out the end. So you're gonna need to put a cap over that with access for the adjustment hole, the hex end or whatever. Spike says Sycamore is a little softer. Paul says, "How would you drill it straight enough?" And jigs galore. Harry Dude says, "If the drill bit is long enough, you could put a bearing on it and brace it as you drill." Yes, you could. That's a good idea. Spike says, "The shopsmith has 34 inches of horizontal boring." Paul says, "Easiest thing is to steam off the fingerboard, then do the truss rod." So Spike's trying to build this out of one slab of wood. Neck, fretboard, everything out of one piece. So he's trying to figure out a way, because it doesn't have a separate fretboard to be able to take off. That is another option, but it kind of defeats what you're trying to do, Spike. You make the fretboard out of Sycamore as well. Spike says, "Leaning toward the fill with Sycamore drilling seems dangerous." I don't like to discourage an idea, and I'm definitely not discouraging it, but that is my concern as well. I almost think that you'd be better off, you might be safer anyway, doing the skunk stripe. Just fill it with the same wood. Might make it a little easier on yourself, and a little bit less headaches, and less chance, I think, for that blade, that long bit to do this and then poke out the side of your neck. Because that would be bad to have a drill bit poking out of your neck. Paul says, "If you do decide to use the drill bit, try to find a brad point, less chance to wander." Yeah. Spike says, "I think I'll try on a scrap." That'd be a good idea too. I always have scrap neck blanks around, just for testing things and stuff. I'll make them out of pine, a 2x4, whatever. Just so I can, if there's something specific that I need to test, I'd rather do it on, a scrap piece. Well, plus, every once in a while you get those necks that just mysteriously tear out. I always keep those too, because you never know when you got to test something. Harry Dude says, "Drill in from both ends and plug one end." The way he's building his instrument, you can't the neck doesn't come off. It's part of the body and neck. It's basically a one-piece neck through, sort of. So you can't get to the other side. Robert says, "There's a woodworker on YouTube that has a demo of how he drills really long holes straight. Channel is Next Level Carpentry." I've seen his channel, but I don't think I've seen that video. I'm going to have to check it out and see what he does. John says, "Put the reverse bow in the neck first, then string it up and measure." Yeah. I want to know what's going on with my light here. It's not very cool, because it's one that I use them all the time when I'm filming a video, but why did it go out? Interesting. Every once in a while it flickers just a little bit. Paul says, "Could make a skunk stripe out of Sycamore also." Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Then it doesn't matter. It's still the same piece of wood. You've not added any wood to it. It's still the same log. You've just plugged the hole that you had to make so that you can build the one piece. That's what I think. It's getting really dark here. I wonder if it's going to rain or something. All of a sudden, there was sun earlier, but now it's getting dark. And now my light's out. It's getting dark in here. Oh boy. Oh, let's see. What else, guys? What else can I show you that I'm working on? I think, well, we've already covered it. So I think we are up to speed. I'm scrolling to make sure I'm up to speed here. John says, snowed a bit here last night. We had a few flurries this morning. Yeah, right about we were getting ready to take my daughter to school in the morning, and there was some snow coming down. Flurries, not like a snowstorm, but yep, we're not there yet. We're not out of winter. I don't care if they said it's summertime. Whoops. We'll pretend I didn't just do that. Knocking stuff over. Oh, let's see. Robert says he used it to build a set of custom bunk beds, and the wood was a bit thicker than used in a guitar build, and the hole was about 3/4 diameter. Oh, 4 feet long? Oh, did he use it to put some, like, all thread or something through? Yeah, I think... I feel like it would be... I've never drilled a hole in anything 4 feet across, but I feel like a 3/4 inch bit might be a little easier to do because you're not going to get as much wandering. Especially if you use like a brad point or one of the auger type screw tip deals. I think your results would be it'd be a little bit easier. As you get a smaller bit, the bit tends to want to do some goofy stuff sometimes. So I'm gonna have to search up that video and see if I can find it. That's good. That's some good coffee. Alrighty. If you guys, was it on the live when I was talking about building a binding tower? I can't remember. It might have been. But anyway, I posted it maybe 2 weeks ago, a week ago. I was prototyping some parts to build a binding tower, to route to route the binding channel, specifically for the acoustic guitar, but I'll use it for other guitar projects as well. So I think I've got everything finalized for that. And once I get back on the acoustic, get the rosette and stuff done, I'll probably be putting that together. Upcoming, anyway, let's just say that. And I think it's going to be really cool. I've got a whole box of basically off-the-shelf parts, and that was my whole goal for this, was to be able to just go on, order these parts, put together a really awesome binding tower that I feel has the potential to be a little bit better than the ones you can buy from the big name suppliers. Let's just leave it at that. I don't know yet because I haven't completed it, but some of the ideas that I'm thinking of, I think it's going to work really good with off-the-shelf pieces, and that's the key. I want to try to when I release that. You guys tell me. My thought is I want to be able to put together a list of parts, part numbers, where I ordered everything from, and you can basically order all the pieces and put it together without having to really fabricate. Does that sound at all like it would be helpful if you're in the market for a binding tower? Because that's my goal. Well, at least for the video, just to buy everything, part numbers, put it together, and it works amazingly. So I'm kind of excited to get to that. It's going to be a little while, but that is upcoming. The only reason I thought of that is because I have a big box of parts right there. And as long as everything goes as planned, as I've kind of been able to mock it up, you should be able to buy everything on the list, including the router, for less than you can buy the tower from the big name brand. I'm trying to not throw any names under the bus here. Not under the bus, but I'm trying to not... You know what I mean. There are some places you can go online and buy these binding towers, and they're pretty expensive, like over $300. I think I've got it down to where you can do that with the router for less than that. At least that's the plan. So stay tuned. John says, would be cool. That's my plan. I'm going to have some drawings available. The only thing that you're going to have to do once I get this all together is, it's going to be mounted on a piece of basically aluminum angle iron. You're going to have to drill some mounting holes for the router and a center hole for the bit, and a couple of holes to mount some rollers that allow it to move up and down. But I think that's everything. And I'm going to have some technical drawings so that basically you can stick it on your piece, mark the holes, and drill and cut. So hopefully, the whole thing together, you'll be able to build your own for less. Raylan's here. Raylan says, morning. Morning, Raylan. How are you this fine Wednesday? We got all manner of things happening around here. Snow this morning. Now it's all dark and stormy looking outside. My lights are going out. Other than that, it's an amazing day. Robert says, I have not watched the video yet to really see how he did it, but I did watch the intro. I'm going to see if I can check that out. Right on, right on. Well, guys, as I take another drink of coffee. Raylan says, pretty good. We have severe storms coming. Probably the same stuff we've had heading your way. John says, my LEDs are on the blink also. I thought those things were supposed to last forever. That's why I got them. And now this one's totally gone. Maybe it's just the connection. Maybe there's some sort of deal inside. I will take it apart before I get back to the old cigar box guitar. See if I can fix it, because it is the one that's right over my work table. Right over top of it. Really not in a convenient spot. If worst case, I'll have to swap it out with another one that's still working, which I don't want to do that, but got to do what you got to do. Maybe I'll have to buy a new one. Always something, right? Raylan says, you can keep it. I don't want it. I'm tired of winter, basically. I love winter. I like when we get snow. I like to be able to go outside and play in the snow, and have a good time, all that sort of stuff. But we haven't had any snow for the most part. It's just been cold. It's been windy. It just refuses to get nice. But it will. It will. I try not to complain because we can't change it. Robert says, no rain or snowing here yet, but wind is blowing at 20 mile an hour plus. Yeah, it's not too bad, not too windy here. I see the trees moving just a tiny bit, but it's definitely an improvement. Raylan says you can get 4 that attach to each other. There's 6,500 lumens for like $80 on Amazon. I have them and they are bright. Are they what are these called? Barina? These are like those Barina lights. You can chain them together. I think this was a pack of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And you can chain them all together. And they've worked really good. Except this one now that just burnt out. John says 27 degrees in Peyton. Let's see. Let's see. That's about what it was when I came out. Oh, it says 29. 29 here. But that's this thing. So I know. Are we ever going to get there, John? One of these days we will. Spike says we'll be 83 here today. Oh man, we are probably. I almost dare say 2 months away from 83 degrees. Maybe a little less, but definitely a month, month and a half for sure, I think. Wouldn't you agree, John? Our warm season here is just so short, really. You know, overall year round, it's fairly mild, really, for the most part. You know, winter's cold-ish, but you get warm days. And overall, as a whole, it's not that bad. But I just get so tired of wearing this. And, yeah, I'm ready for some warm weather. John agrees. Anyway, guys, I think it's about time to wrap this up. We are just at the top of the hour. Spike says, South Carolina, our winters is getting shorter. I wish ours would. Anyway, got to wrap this up. I got to get back to work on this guitar, see if I can get it bolted together today, at least roughly located and all that. Raylyn says 70s today. The reason for the storms. 67 in the shop. Have a great week. What's it in here? It's got to be 60. That's 64 in here right now. John says, see ya. Braylon says, have a great week. You guys too, have a great week. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to tune in. Enjoy hanging out with you guys all the time. And I hope you guys all get a chance to get out in your shops, build something. Build a birdhouse. Build a bird feeder. Build something. It's a good month for spring type projects. And we'll try to put out some pictures and videos and stuff like that at the end of the month of all of our birdhouse, bird feeder, all of our bird builds. Build a bird bath. I don't care. Anyway, guys, get out, do some work, make some things, have some fun, be safe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Rogue's here. It says, there he is. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Rogue, sorry you tuned in at the last second. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. Yeah, every time I try to hit the button and it doesn't do anything.